Good evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to Season 14. Once you've got qualifying, then the main 1 hour race. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sim Racing Alliance. And this is where it all counts. As all eyes go to the light, and we are racing.
He brakes late, almost takes out the car ahead of him.
He's getting a tow, a flash.
Argy right on the exit, rear end squiggle. Who's going to get the move done here around the outside?
Oh, dang!
Byron ran it so shallow there, and this has become a 4-car battle. Game of inches as the BMW is in the paint.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Hello, SRA Nation, and welcome to Round 6 of Division 5's Season 15. We are at Laguna Seca, and I'm joined in the booth with Trey Morgan.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to have the crew back together. The last 2 races we've had to shuffle stuff around due to sickness and or travel, but we have the crew back together, so it should be a fun race.
We do. And we have variable weather this week, don't we?
We do. So it could be rainy, it could be dry. We'll hope for rain, but, a mix of both would be pretty interesting, too.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Absolutely. We can, well, while we're waiting for them to get in here and get ready, and for me to work, let's look at our track map for Laguna Seca this week out in sunny or maybe not so sunny California. Do you want to
Laguna Seca? Yeah, I can do the walkthrough. So Laguna Seca is it's a fun track. I worry a little bit about overtaking if we have a true dry race, because Laguna Seca, at least in my mind, from my experience driving it, it's corner after corner after corner. There's not many chances for you to take a breath. And even the longest straight-ish, which is from turn 11 to down to turn 2, it's not straight at all, so going side by side can be a little bit sketchy. But we have a few main areas that we should see overtaking in. The first one is turn 2, which is the first hard braking zone. It's a hairpin, but you have to double apex it because it's a wide hairpin. It acts a little bit weird. After that, it should be about turn 5 and turn 6, maybe turn 6 anyways. Turn 5 is a hard braking zone, but not as hard as turn 2. And then after that, it's going to be probably about single file until we get to turns 10 and 11. Of course, this track does have the amazing corkscrew, so we will probably see a few incidents there just because it's a really weird corner and it's a really big drop, but it should be a pretty fun race here today.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a great track. The corkscrew is a pretty exciting little spot for a lot of people, and it's a nice little track. I never got on real well with it because these, especially Sector 1, a lot of those turns, I always felt they were a little bit funky going through. Almost reminded me of riding go-karts around. The way you had to take them and really carry your speed through there.
It really does feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially turn 3. The exit of turn 2 just acts all kinds of funky. And so being able to carry speed through turn 3 is really challenging and really sets up whether or not you're able to get an overtake into turn 5, or if you get overtaken into turn 5.
Very true. And also, I remember like the braking zones always felt weird. Felt you had to brake what felt like way early in these, and it always threw me off. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a fun driving track. We shall see how the racing goes tonight.
We shall. And let's look at our driver standings, because I think that you had alluded to having some really interesting, like, I think get the word right, T on this.
Yes, the T. So our all of our drivers have kind of, we've done our promotions to this point. So all of our top drivers are gold drivers, with Cliff Hemian leading the way by 50 points. So as long as he continues to get good results, he should be able to keep that lead. Of course, anything can happen. But then we have our P2 driver in SIG SVG. And then P3 is Cameron Thibodeau, and P4 is Nolan Witt. However, one important thing to note is that Cliff Hemian and SIG SVG have both already used their drop races. So at the end of the season, we will take whatever your worst result is and chop it off. So you only get points for 7 out of 8 races. It does mean that you can miss one, though, if you either have an accident and aren't able to finish or just aren't able to show up. But what that does mean is that if you exclude drop races, Cameron Thibodeau and Nolan Witt are both within about 7 points of SIG SVG. So that P2 spot is very much not secure.
Ooh, so that'll be interesting racing. And now I'm going to have to remember all of the names as we go along here. And let's see, how is our silver championship looking?
The silver championship's looking fairly good for the most part. Of course, it's a lot tighter in points just because there's less points to go around in what is normally the back half of the field. But we have Emil Garcia as our leader, followed very close by Cameron Hastings. Hopefully he's able to do good this week. I know that he's had wheel issues, so technical issues with his setup in previous races. If I remember correctly, he was in P1 or P2 last race and then had really unfortunate technical issues until we couldn't finish the race. But he's only 6 points behind him for that silver championship.
Nice. Now I will look at the back half, and then we'll take a look over here at team standings. I'm going to let you go run us through those, as I just realized that I have a setting in ACC I need to fix. So you're not going to hear from me for a couple of minutes while I try to remember where it is.
All right. So our team championship is very close in the top 4 or 5 teams. So Potato Performance with Brad Garman and Zach Watt lead the way. They are both sitting, I believe, P5 and 6 in the solo championship, but they are leading the way in the team championship. P2 is Box Box with Austin Thibodeau and Cameron Thibodeau. P3 is Red Eel Racing with Juicy Jake and Neil Leader. And then P4, we have our first silver driver, which is Cameron Hastings and SIG SVG, which I talked about beforehand. And our top 4 teams are all separated by only 28 points. So it's really anyone's game here to see who gets that top spot in the team championship. But then for P5, we have Blackout with Cliff Hemian and Renard Blanc, or I believe it's Blanc. P6 is GP with Andrew Duong-Bonglio and Stephen Pellerin. P7 is Black Flag Racing with Roger Gismukes and Raymond Lorenzo. P8 is Gout with Nolan Witt and Andrew Hopkins. P9 is Reined In Racing. Hopefully they're not too reined in, though, with Dan Thibodeau and Josh Parker. Seeming a fan or family favorite. I don't know what you want to call him, but he definitely gets the crowd going. And then to round out our top 10, we have the Silver-ish Arrows from OBDA Conglomerate with Rob Warren and JP May. So,
Nice. And I did figure out, I figured out my thing, so I'm back. I'm good to go here.
There we go.
Yeah. If I
and
can. There we go.
We are about to get started with the qualifying session here in a moment. But Steph, I know that you haven't been, or you weren't here for the last race, but do you have any expectations for this race going in?
Let's see. It's not an expectation, it's a hope. You know I love when it rains. So I am really, really, really hoping that we get to see some water on this track at some point. And now, I actually have to admit that I'd really like that water to show up somewhere in the middle of the race, not right away. I want them to have to think about some strategy. Maybe I'm mean.
I think that's. I don't know. I think that's fun. I think maybe not a more enjoyable thing for viewers, or the drivers. But like you said, rain in the middle always gets dicey because the grip starts disappearing in the middle of the race, and you have no clue how fast you can take lines and whatnot. Although I think my personal favorite in terms of just driving is when it starts raining and then dries up at the very end, because in both scenarios the grip is changing, but as a driver you're going to have more grip throughout the race, so it feels a little bit better.
That's true. And then there's always the strategy of, if it starts raining and then it dries up later, like when's the best time to go swap that out, go over to your dry tires before coming back out, how long to hang on to that. So, and that always kind of makes it interesting too.
It does, because we've seen in mostly other series, because I don't think we've had a race this year or this season yet where it's changed mid-session. But I know that last season, when me and my brother were racing, my brother did really good at Spain because it started to stop raining toward the end of the race, and I was already not doing good that race, as we see Hastings unfortunately hit the inside curb there and go off. Hopefully he doesn't block the driver behind him, and he doesn't.
I have to admit that this does not look like the passenger view. So my apologies for some of these. I can do.
Are your cameras not working properly?
They're not. They're a little wonky. But that I really wanted to do give you guys a nice driver's view of this track, and this looks to be the best. Typically I use a passenger cam, it gets the nicest view out of us. Whereas like here, the driver, obviously you're gonna see the guy, but this looks more like a passenger view to me than driver.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Either way, we're going to get a good view of hopefully a valid lap from Hastings. Jacobs set a valid lap of a 126 flat, and then Acomb right behind him with a 127.3.
So they start playing it. And the other thing, like with that, well, I guess it's turn 2. Turn 1's like a big turn. It's downhill coming into it in the braking zone, which was always made it super terrifying. It's obviously the end of that straight. You're going pretty fast. You're got a good clip. And now you got to slam on the brakes. Stop and woe it down in time to get that first turn out. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of corners on this track that are maybe not blind. Well, there's some corners that are blind, and then there are some that are almost blind. Like, as we're going through here, you can see, he's not able to see what's ahead of him. You're not able to see what's ahead of you when you go through the corkscrew. And then for turn 1, you're not able to see what's ahead of you. So you're not really able to mentally prepare yourself for the corner ahead if you don't already know what the track is. So doing practice here is really important. We'll see the example of turn 1 here in a moment, as Hastings goes through the final corner to set hopefully a valid lap.
Crossing our fingers.
And he does, going to P2. But yeah, so that's turn 1. You don't see turn 2 except for like a second or two ahead of time. So it's very much you're on edge trying to make sure that you don't have any issues.
So yeah, and it's again, as we were going over the track, I don't know how it was not in the forefront of my mind, the elevation changes that are present on this track.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite things about American tracks versus what I guess you call the stereotypical British track, is most of American non-big tracks aren't flat. Obviously, ovals are flat because they have to be. Indy is flat because it's in the middle of an oval, and so like all of your ovals will be flat. But like Laguna Seca isn't flat, obviously, because we can see the change in elevation. Coda isn't flat. Watkins Glen very much isn't flat. And so, as compared to like your big British tracks like that we race at, like Snetterton and Silverstone, those are maybe not like perfectly flat, but there's nothing like this.
There's not. It gives it a really interesting aspect to it because, like, this corner, you have to come out of that corner and really get that speed going up that hill. It makes it a great passing zone if someone makes a mistake in the corner before the corkscrew. You can't recover from that up that street, and they're just gonna blow by you if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And that
there in
corner
the
is
tip-
tricky.
Oh yeah, it's very tricky. In the corner, we saw Hopkins with a minor incident. Nothing too big. He's able to continue with his qualifying, but he did hit the wall, unfortunately. Draper in the main screen, I believe that it was Draper that we saw, improved by about a second, but is still a good bit behind pole. Jacobs is our current pole sitter, and Jacobs and his teammate, as we see Jacob spin. Oh, well, we were trying to make him look good, but he updated he and his teammate updated their liveries for the rest of the season. They've updated their liveries. I think this is their second time now. So, always good to see iteration in liveries, just to spice it up every once in a while.
Well, we got a really good view of the livery as he brought it around so we could get a nice side view of that hard work they put into making that look nice.
Yeah.
So,
So there's not many drivers improving right now, at least substantially. We are currently in the bumper view of Dan Thibodeau there.
Yeah, sorry, I was fiddling a little bit. I have to relearn what
everything
thing
is.
Yeah, because it's not what it says it is. That bumper view is what my cameras say is the driver. So the guy in charge of placing the cameras around the track and setting up the drones, his programming leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm going to have a long discussion with him later.
All right.
Apologies.
Well, if nothing else, at least our grid walk will be good, because we'll get close-up shots of everyone.
Yes, we will. Get some nice shots.
So we've got at least some high notes here.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah. So Hopkins was able to improve by about 2 seconds, but he's still 3 down on Jacobs. No one is really improving at this point. And the track is still very green. We didn't talk about track condition at all, but it's very cold, which is not what I would have expected.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, in the MCM race that we did on Friday, speaking of which, if you want to join MCM, Multi-Class Madness, please do so. It's very fun. But anyway, the track temperature there was 50 degrees Celsius. And I can tell you that was not fun.
No, that would be wretched.
Yeah, I think I had the coolest temperatures out of anyone on tires. At least I was talking about it. And my rear right was still 101 degrees Celsius. Some of the Porsche drivers were complaining that it was getting up over 110. So I think the drivers are going to be thankful that we don't have to deal with that today during qualifying. As Hopkins has another issue there in the pip. I will go ahead and unfocus on him so that he hopefully doesn't have any more issues.
Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Poor man. Thibodeau is 3/10 up, as is Draper, who is currently sitting in P4. Although,
Hastings has an incident now, and he was just getting ready to go through that last corner too. It's unfortunate.
If Dan can hold on to that 4/10, or half second, depending on what you look at. Let's see. Half second will bring him up to P4.
That's what it looks like. He gets a okay exit off the last corner, but it is good enough for P4.
Yep.
And now we have our gold drivers coming out.
As they all go in, is there anyone out? Draper is still out, and Jacobs is hoping to shave a little bit of time off.
He has a decent shot at it, I think.
Oh, but not
He's
anymore.
Yep, he's invalidated.
Yeah. Looks like Draper also, so he's not going to be making any time on that.
Yep. So we have finished our silver qualifying with Jacobs and Hastings being our provisional P1 and P2. And if I remember correctly, those are our silver leaders. No, well, Hastings is. Jacobs is not. Jacobs is all the way down in P9, but he's still within a shot of P1 in the silver championship. It's a kind of a long shot, but we do have 3 races still, so anything can happen. But we are currently looking at Cliff Hemian, who is our current overall P1 sitter, or P1 in the championship. I assume he's hoping to hold that P1 for the rest of the race, or for the rest of the season.
I would think so, but you never know. The idea of drinking out of a shoe doesn't appeal to everybody.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do it. I mean, you kind of do, but you don't have to do it. We will publicly shame you if you don't.
Yeah,
but we will.
To say, there are consequences to.
Yeah, you will be mercilessly made fun of for about a week or so when the stream comes out, but that's about it.
True.
At least for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. We'll ride on board with Chris for a while and see how he makes out of this cold green track.
Yeah, most of the tracks that we've been to, other than obviously Donington because it was raining, most of the tracks have gotten to optimal by the end of the gold qualifying, normally before you get to the end of gold qualifying, but I don't think we'll have that here today. Both because of how cold it is, but also because of how few silver drivers there were to warm up the track.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too, that we only had, looks like, 6 drivers out there in silver. Oh.
Yeah.
A couple that joined in, but they did not set qualifying.
Yeah, and that would be Mike Cox and Emil Garcia. So we are starting to get closer to the amount of people we had last week, but we are starting to see that attrition toward the end of the season where people who aren't doing as good or just don't have time anymore aren't able to show up to races.
Yep. And I
Which is
understand
unfortunate.
that. Yeah, it's unfortunate, or life happens. And our first Parker fan has popped into the chat.
Well, they popped in just in time to see him crash at some point. So,
Uh-oh.
Not a crash, actually, just a little bit of an oversteer moment, thankfully. So, nothing too big, but he will have to try that again.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at May while I... Oh, there he is. He's already up in P4, and Juicy Jake's sitting at P3.
And then Sebastian Rock comes in at P2.
He's rocking it.
That he is.
Sorry,
So
I had to.
No, you're good. You're good. So one of the things that you were talking about in our pregame, I don't know what you want to call it, but before we went live, is how good the Honda can be if it does rain. So if he does get pole, and he's able to control that Honda through the wet, he should have a pretty good chance of getting a win today.
He very well may be. I mean, from the few people I've spoken to who have driven the Honda for a season and other things have, for the most part, sung the praises of the Honda in the wet. It is a weird car to drive by understanding. I couldn't get it around the track myself. And I usually drive Porsche. And I really enjoy it. So this thing and I, no, didn't get along in the least.
Yeah. I've thought about driving the car just for fun for the next season, because my brother has already said that he wants to go back to the Ferrari, and I don't vibe with the Ferrari. And I don't know why, but the Honda just seems like something that would be fun. But every time I've said I'm thinking about doing that, everyone has screamed at me, no! I personally don't understand it, but I've not driven it yet, so. As we see Sebastian Rock go P1 with a 1:23.8.
He's rocking the Honda, as we're saying.
Yeah.
From what I would hear next to me is my husband drove the Honda for a while, and based on what the words that came from that side of the room, the impression I got was that it goes from understeer to oversteer really fast. And it's just
that would not
very
shock
brutal.
me.
Yeah, it's very brutal and punishing, but you know, go for it. At least it'd be a fun season, you know.
It would be something. I would remember it, that's for sure. Or I'd block it out of my memory, one of the two.
That's true too. Take a look at Mr. Cook, who has just been edged out by Leader in that. Whoa! Look at the mid-path Machia. Oh, I can't pronounce words. Mid-pack Mafia.
There you go.
That.
Yeah, he's our other driver who has switched liveries. So that is a new livery for the next 3 races, I believe. I'm not sure how much they changed, because I don't know why, but I have a hard time remembering what everything looks like. As someone goes off there in the corkscrew.
Yeah. Well, that looked pretty harsh on that BMW, too.
Yeah. I believe that was SIG SVG who went wide. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's correct.
And it looks like Sig in the McLaren is not enjoying Laguna Seca so much at the moment based on qualifying. He is currently sitting at P14.
Yeah.
Now. And he is what position for the overall standings?
For the overall standings, he's P2 by about 50 points. So this could just be a bad track for him. I know that I've had issues with the McLaren around here, but I've just considered that a skill issue. So, but looking at the hot lap leaderboards, he is only P6 with a 1:24.3. Now that is like a second better than what he currently has, I think. Yeah, because his current lap was a 1:25.7. So he definitely has room that he can improve. It's just going to be a challenge to see whether or not he can.
And when they have conditions like this, the hot lap leaderboards can be a little bit misleading because you never know what conditions they were having to deal with during all those hot lap practices. You know, maybe the track was better than it is now, or maybe it was raining, or who knows.
Yeah. The one thing that I will say is that Sebastian Rock, I assume that his best qualifying time was in about these conditions, because he's only 0.3 off his best time, because his practice time was a 1:23.5.
Ah. So that would tell me that these conditions are a little bit worse than his best practice, and possibly Sig's also.
Yes, that is likely the case, as we see Leader come here across the line. Jumps up to P2.
I like the colors of this one. The purple and the gold and white.
Absolutely. Nothing better than someone who's unabashedly willing to wear purple.
Well, they were our wedding colors, so
Mm.
I'm partial to like.
Are
those
you royalty
colors.
or something?
No.
All right. So in the main screen, we're watching JP. Well, we were watching JP
Yeah,
May
sorry.
finish his lap. We are now watching Gilchrist go across the line in P13 to just overtake Josh Parker, who I don't think did any more laps after that first set, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, that's I'm not sure. It seems, although I will. It seems like this track is so different than possibly a lot of the other tracks. That the way you drive it is different than most of the tracks up to this point. I had made the
That's
note
fair.
of braking way earlier than you really think you need to, and especially in Sector 1 for a lot of those turns, so that you can get the right turn in, the right trajectory to get the exit that you need. Because this track, I think, and the good exit is almost always trumping a fast entry. But I feel like Laguna Seca just slaps you upside the head every time if you do not get that really great exit and you go in too fast on it.
Yeah, that's definitely the case here with a lot of the entries being really weird and having like off-camber, not barriers, but whatever it is. I don't remember what they're called, but we're going to go ahead and let our sponsors get a little bit of highlight
There we
here
go.
before we start our grid walk.
All right, that's a good idea.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
And we're
All right.
back
Oops,
here.
go ahead.
That's it, we're
Sorry
back,
about
and we'll try to do a quick run through of our drivers while they're warming up the tires out here on the track. I'll let you go through these. I'll just
All right,
click
why
on
not? So we have our pole sitter, Sebastian Rock, did an amazing job in qualifying, hoping to do an amazing job also in the race. He will have a good shot against P2, Neil Leader, and that is because Leader is in the Ferrari, and the Ferrari has terrible turbo lag, so it's not really great on starts, so as long as nothing bad happens, Rock should be able to keep P1. P3 is Glenn Jacobs, our top silver driver, in that new blue livery for the Mid-Pack Mafia. P4 is Cliff Hemian in the Porsche. P5 is Andrew Duangbonglio in the Lexus. P6 is Sig SVG in the McLaren. P7 is our first repeat car in Juicy Jake with the Ferrari. P8 is Mike Cook in the BMW. P9 is Nolan Witt in the first Mercedes. P10 is Stephen Pellerin. P11 is Cameron Hastings. P12 is JP May. P13 is Ian Gilchrist. P14 is the fan favorite of Josh Parker. P15 is Raymond Lorenzo in the Porsche. P16 is Brian Acombe in the Bentley. P19 is Dan Thibodeau, who I would have expected to be higher today, but apparently not. P18 is Austin Thibodeau, who I also would have expected to be higher, but you know, some tracks doesn't quite vibe with you properly. P19 is Don Draper. P20 is Andrew Hopkins. P21 is Roger Dismukes, who had a qualifying ban today, which is why he's so far back. P22 is Emil Garcia, who is pretty high up there in the standings. And then our last driver today with a pit lane start, because I believe they joined late, is Michael Cox. So we are getting close to the start line, but Steph, do you have any expectations or hopes for how this race will go?
I'm hoping it rains at some point. Otherwise, I'm hoping to see lots of great battles and action from these guys, clean racing, and just a all-up exciting race as that flag goes down and they are out. And as you called it, no problems from the Ferrari, but P3.
I think it's Glenn Jacobs, does an amazing job there to get through. We are 3 wide there and about the middle of the pack as we have a wreck between Josh Parker and I believe Stefan Pellerin. I will go ahead and show that here in the pip.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, we're both showing it. Why not?
Oh,
see, I just
too many wide.
A 3 wide squeeze through a corner that is really not set up for multiple wide. It looks like there was another issue possibly with Cox. Yes, so Cox went a little bit wide there, but other than that, we are mostly clean. It is helped by the fact that we have less people today, but we are now going down through the corkscrew here in the middle. There was another issue with Draper and somebody else. I will let you pull that up.
Got that. Let's see. Oh no! Somebody's way slow on that straight. And that was that. Could have been worse. Yeah, could have been worse, but also could have been a lot better. Looked like he probably went wide there. Turned 5 or 6. I don't know which one that was, and just was way too slow. Sig SVG giving a little bit of a look, but doesn't do anything. Not
Gilchrist
yet.
Also making a look there in the main screen, but decides against it.
Garcia here powering through.
As
Not
I believe
with that.
Yeah, I think that was Garcia that went wide. I could be wrong.
See Garcia making it through. And take a look at May up here. Let's see. I'm gonna get the right one. I'm sorry. They're all messed up, so I'm really not sure what I'm gonna get when I grab it. As I go through that corkscrew.
Here, I'll cover the onboards here in the pip.
Thank you.
since my cameras are not junked up.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
Wow, that
That is not a good line there through the corkscrew,
is
or through the turn 2. So Sebastian Rock, yeah. Sorry, I keep trying to talk over you.
I think it's just that slight delay, like as you. Oh, whoa! As Park is getting scolded. Wow. There's some family drama in the chat.
Yeah, Parker family is getting on Josh there for not having a great start, but with how few drivers there are today, he still has a really good chance for points.
He does. He does. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's like the leaders have spread out. Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacobs is 2 seconds up. Leader is, well, he was 2 seconds up. He might have had some kind of issue there. I'm not sure because the timings just dropped dramatically. But Rock is about a second back from leader. And then there's a kind of what I will call a light train there from P2 all the way down to P6. Juicy Jake got passed by Gilchrist. I will go ahead and pull that up in the pip. So Juicy Jake not getting a good exit through the corkscrew, has an issue in the next corner, and then Gilchrist just powers past him.
So I was taking a look at, you see the damage there on Parker's car. Not sure how that's going to affect his handling now at this point. Definitely don't want to be popping into the pits either in case it rains later.
Yeah, that is the one nice thing about having, well, you never want to have issues, but if you do have an incident, you want it to happen before your pit stop. So you still have a chance to make it up. Dan Thibodeau lost a place to Lorenzo, and I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, he lost a place and then a lot of time, so...
So down there in the pip, you could see he had an oversteer incident. So, kind of unfortunate, but he keeps it straight. No big issues, thankfully.
Oh, let's take a look at Juicy Jake here. You know, they all bunch up and then they spread out pretty fast.
That they do. It's with this being a smaller grid than what we've had earlier in the year, that would probably help it just because you're going to not get stuck behind as many people. And so the difference in pace, you're not going to have as many people close to you as we see an incident. Stefan Pellerin going deep on the brakes, trying to overtake Acomb there. I will go ahead and pull that up in the pip.
Yeah, you can revisit that as Parker is the winner of that.
Yeah, so Pellerin, I think, trying to make a move and just went way too deep on the brakes there. They are both still moving forward, thankfully, but again, not what you want to see. Cox is still in the pits. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with him. I think he's actually pitting, but I could be wrong there. Because his speed trap data is like 10 kilometers an hour slower than anyone else. As Hopkins has an issue.
I'll grab that quick. I think it's just a...
I think it might be a normal pit stop, but I'm not sure.
Yep, he hit it. We were just talking about that. There's a sausage curb on the inside of that turn. And you hit it. You saw that Mercedes go flying up in the air a little bit. And it just messes you all up.
Yeah, it throws you to the way outside of the corner, and especially through Sector 2 and 3, there's no runoff really on the outside of corners, so if you go off, you will go way off.
There's a lot of sand.
Yeah, but sand's not that good for grip normally.
No, it's really hard to get out of, so very punishing to end up out there.
Yeah. So unfortunately for you, it doesn't really look like it's going to rain today.
Well, a girl can hope. It only goes 30 minutes out. Maybe
Yeah, we can
I'd
dream.
be happy with the last 10 minutes. That would make it really exciting.
That would make it exciting. Speaking of exciting, Neil Leader is less than a second back from Jacobs here at the front.
Oh, yeah. Jake just passes Garcia.
Really tight there through that corner.
Yeah, it was. Garcia's not quite ready to, like, give that space up.
Yeah. And I think this is one of the few tracks where probably the top speed issue that the Ford has over other cars may not be as much of an issue as we see Juicy J going wide there.
He's just giving that spot right on back.
Yep.
It's a
He
tough
just wanted to
track.
show him what he could do.
Yeah. They heard that we wanted to have lots of battles going on, so they're like, okay, we're just gonna like swap back and forth.
Yeah, they just want to make sure we have a good show.
I appreciate it. Nolan Witt. Looks like May maybe had a little bit of a wiggle or something as Nolan Witt and Hastings get past him. We'll just take a look at what was going on.
Yeah, so going through turn 2 and now through turn 3. Not looking like anything happened to him. Ah, there we go.
Oh, he touched that curb. Another sausage curb on this track that will literally bite you.
Yeah, the corners here really aren't forgiving. You go a little too far inside and you have issues. You go a little too far outside, you also have issues. So it'll be interesting to see who makes the most issues, or more importantly, I think, who makes the fewest issues.
Yes. So who is the most consistent out there today?
Meanwhile, Juicy Jake is trying to overtake Garcia here.
Yet again.
Does not get side by side, but will have a better exit through this corner as long as Garcia doesn't squeeze him too hard.
It looks like Garcia's giving him lots of room.
Almost contact. Tried to do a little bit of a switchback maneuver, but Garcia expertly places that car on the apex.
He does this.
But
it
this
gets a
defense-
little wiggle.
Yeah, he does. But this has also brought Lorenzo into the fight.
Ooh.
As Juicy Jake goes way wide there.
As they go into this, oh,
Oh!
that Porsche hits the curbing. Taps it.
Really
And they
good
all-
save.
Yeah. I gotta give him that. As up ahead, Hastings slips past May. They're still battling it out here.
Yeah, Hastings given the space to keep the inside, but not the power.
Nope. I believe the AMG's pretty good at pulling out. There. As A. Thibodeau, you see him in the back. Well, he goes wide, so will not be a problem for these guys. Meanwhile, up ahead, Nolan Witt. And
Ooh.
Cook. Ooh, that yeah. Ooh, is right.
Yeah, Cook has a little bit of a moment there that should let Witt by. And it does. Meanwhile, Lorenzo is wide.
He's really wide. Oh my word, Lorenzo.
He does get going again.
That curve.
Ooh.
And that's the reason why sand isn't very good. Just kind of slide
there's just no grip if you go off track here.
Looks like we lost Hopkins in the back also. And Gilchrist, well, he's not in the trees, I'm sure.
I don't know. Have you not heard of the McLaren monkey?
Screw. Oh, just missed that blind turn and came into that corkscrew too heavy.
Yep. So unfortunate to see, but I do expect we'll see a lot of that as the race goes on. Out front, I'm going to keep an eye on it here in the pip. Rock, Leader, and Jacobs are all within a second of each other.
And as we saw, looking at Polarin and Parker, Acomb was behind them, then went real wide on that last turn, and we saw him kind of hanging out in the dirt back there. Now, oh, they're not part. I'm stuttering because are Parker and Polarin teammates?
I don't believe so, but give me a second. I will check
After
for
that
you.
little bump, I hope not. Or at least
No,
they
Parker is
probably-
teammates with Dan. Yeah, Parker is teammates with Dan Thibodeau.
All right.
So, no inter-team squabbles happening there. But Leader got around Jacobs for the lead.
Oh,
I will pull that up here in the pip.
please do, as Rock is right behind them also, so that's a three-way battle brewing up front.
Yeah, Leader Jacobs, I think, had an issue going through the corkscrew. I'm not quite sure.
And Leader, oh,
As they're
look
now
at
side
that.
by side.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, amazing job there to not have any issues going side by side. Meanwhile, SVG and Duong Bonglio are side by side. Duong Bonglio holding that position. SVG sends it up the inside of turn 5. Still holding just side by side, but also not really. As now Duong Bonglio, SVG, and Hemian are all within about 3/10 of each other. Meanwhile, out front, we are still watching in the main screen Rock trying to chase down Jacobs. Jacobs, I don't think, has a good line through the corner after the corkscrew. Normally, for that corner, you're supposed to go wide and like almost hit that outside curb.
Yep.
And then shoot in. And I don't know if he just doesn't want to do that or what, but he's not been.
Coming into it, so after the corkscrew, well, you're not going to be all the way out wide. It's kind of central. Then you make that left, but you do want to go out wide on that exit before, coming back to the left for the next turn. I'll have to look at it. I know in principle how it's supposed to be done, but, in practice, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Knowing what to do and doing it are two very different things.
They are.
Meanwhile, Sebastian Rock has a look up the outside. What is that? Outside?
Yep.
Not enough on the brakes, but he will get a better exit through this corner. Allegedly.
We'll see.
Not a good enough exit, apparently.
No. But
But
really
also-
just hanging on to his tail feathers, so giving him a lot to think about.
Yep.
What? Whoa! Wait.
Speaking of a lot to think about,
Yep. That's
Rock-
not what he wanted to have happen.
it is not, and it throws Rock back now into this battle for what had been P4, but is now a battle for the podium spot, as Hastings has an issue through the corkscrew. I will show a replay of that. Oh, so just a little bit of an exit there on the exit of the
Ooh.
top corner. Yeah, once we get back to into the corkscrew, hopefully we can ride on board through it just to show how perilous it actually is.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Because it's a lot worse than you might think. Meanwhile, Duong Bonglio and SVG almost go side by side again through turn 3. SVG not really getting good enough exits to challenge consistently through corner exits. And of course, there's not really enough places here to slipstream. So,
Yeah. And then
you know, in the back.
You got that one?
Yes, I do. I have it. Don't worry. Gilchrist and Lorenzo going side by side. Gilchrist gets past Lorenzo. And looks to hold on to that. But we're going to go ahead and hopefully show the corkscrew.
There we go.
Yeah.
Whee!
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, you cannot see where you're going. And there was a really funny video of one of the IndyCar announcers from this season going over the corkscrew, and his reaction to it is very similar to what you would have here, except obviously it's in real life, so not only do you just not get to see where you're going, you feel the drop in the car, and so it's really interesting.
Oh, they try to go side by side into the corkscrew here. There's some daring, boys.
Yeah, the corkscrew is really hard to get right.
It is, and Lorenzo's saying, "Oh no, I don't think so, buddy."
Yeah, the corkscrew, you have to make sure that you set it up properly, because if you're still turning left when you drop into the corkscrew, you do not do anything well. You know, SVG is properly side by side now with Duong Bonglio, and he gets around him.
He does.
So good job there by SVG. He put that pressure on him for at least a few laps. You know, someone is stopped.
Demute went yellow. I think had a big oopsie.
Yeah, oversteer moment through the post corner, and then he stops in the middle of the track. Thankfully, he is gone now by this point. I assume that his engine died going through there, but either way, unfortunate mistake through there.
Sometimes I think the engine turns off depending on how bad you do.
That would not shock me. You know, now going through into turn 2, Cliff Hemian going, looking to the inside of Duong Bonglio, doesn't do anything, but Duong Bonglio now going really wide there.
Yeah, well, playing it safe, which is probably a good thing.
Witt almost getting into the back there of Hemian, but thankfully not doing anything.
Thankfully, yes. Oh, wait,
as Hemian has a really big issue there. Oops.
Nope,
there we go.
It's fine.
It's just musical chairs. That's all it is.
It is.
But yeah, so Hemian had an issue there on the exit of turn 4, I think it was, allowing Witt to get past him. Rock is now back fighting for P2, but this battle for P4 is definitely not over. Or, I suppose now P5 is SVG now has a 2.5 second gap.
Yep, currently P5 looks like maybe some lap traffic there causing them to get it, at least getting in the mix, causing them to have to work a little harder.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. I believe it's Draper. But this track is different compared to the ones we have been racing at. So last week, our lap times were around a 144, 146, if I remember correctly, as May goes on the outside of Cook. He won't have the good exit here through this next set of corners, but he does compromise the line.
Not what he wants to do.
Also, a little bit back here, Acomb had gotten past Lorenzo before going wide. I'll go ahead and pull that up on the pip here in the bottom right. So yeah, I think Lorenzo just had a really bad exit going into that corner, and then Acomb just missed his braking point.
Sig was trying to get on Rock and just went wide.
Someone clearing way out the way of everyone there. I believe it's Dismukes, but I could be wrong. But Duong Bonglio has gotten past Sig SVG.
Yep, Sig was right behind Sebastian Rock coming into that the turn right before the uphill. And
As we have our first pitter.
we went real wide on the exit, so that let Duong Bonglio through and Hemian to catch up.
Yeah, so Witt choosing to go early-ish is what I'll call it. We're right at the time where people would start their normal pit stops, as May tries to go wide again, but goes a little bit too deep to really challenge through the next corners. As someone goes wide!
Duong Bonglio
Oh no!
just swinging it wide, missing that break point.
Oh, when he hit Hemian!
Definitely less than ideal.
Yeah, Hemian looks to be mostly fine on the front of his car. It'll be easier for you to check it out later, I think, but...
Yeah, I have that one funky camera. That one. Let's go look at
That
Hemian's car. There we go. A little dingy ding in the front there. Not too bad.
No, I've definitely seen worse, so...
It's seen worse.
So hopefully not too big of an issue.
But May runs wide and is now not giving Cook much of a problem.
Yeah.
I guess at this
Yeah.
point, it's 35 minutes to the race. The wow.
Oh!
Gilchrist.
That was a
just-
big hit there. I will go ahead and play this in the pip. So yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was trying to get to these guys. They won't quit. There's no
Oh.
rain in the forecast at this point, so unfortunately, ooh, Juicy Jake flying in here was hoping to make a move on Garcia.
Not able to.
No.
See, what I'm hearing from you is that I need to ping Bailey or one of the administrators to force them to turn on the rain. As someone goes really wide there. Draper went wide and took out almost all the braking markers there for turn 4.
Uh-oh, so we should put a camera there at turn 4. That'll get pretty spicy, I imagine.
I would imagine so. So hopefully no one's relying on those on braking markers. I know that for me at least, my braking marker was like the end of the curbing there, but we will have to see how many people go deep there.
Yeah, I'm not going to get it right. I'm going to have the wrong one every time I go to look. See, lots and lots of front end damage on a lot of these cars as we're watching them go through.
Yeah, I wonder if hitting those inside sausage curbs adds more to your damage, like on the front. Because I don't know personally. As we see, I believe that's Acomb having an issue there.
Shooting off to the side there. And that would be that whole, as you're going over, you do not want to be turning to the left.
Yeah, you just...
What happens?
Yeah, you just have no grip on your tires as you're going over that. So if you're turning left at all, you're going to lose all the grip on your front tires, and then just as you're getting grip back on your front tires, you're going to lose it on your rear tires. So you want to be going straight as much as possible to make sure that you don't slide through there.
You see lots of damage on Juicy Jake here. Everybody is quite spread out. You got May up here chasing Mike Cook down, but still some time.
Yeah, so between our pitters, Hemian is about 6 seconds back from Witt, and they had been right with each other whenever they first pit.
I think Hemian had a lot of damage.
Yeah, so I would assume that most of that is from Hemian's incident. If you give me a second, I will...
Ooh, get the data up.
Yeah, so... it wasn't that much different. Witt was stopped for 38 seconds, while Hemian was stopped for 40 seconds. So I'm not sure if it was just that Hemian was still behind somebody else, or if Witt just had that good of outlaps. Because it could be either, to be honest.
True. As Garcia ends up going the wrong way. Oh, that's a nice camera pan.
I didn't know we paid
Sorry.
for those. Yeah, so just a little wide there on exit. Ugh. You need to hold the brakes there, man.
Hold the brakes.
Yeah, but turn 5, which is this corner that we're going through now, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I am wrong on that. That was turn 2. My apologies. I will show it as we go through. But so the inside curbs, the apexes of most of these corners, you want to hit them really hard because they're all cambered in. But especially for turn 5, this corner that we're going through here, the outside curb is actually cambered out. So especially in the wet, if you hit it, now obviously we're not in the wet, but especially in the wet, if you hit the outside curve of turn 5, you can very easily get sucked off the track. So you want to use it lightly. Meanwhile, our 2 leaders are into the pits, or 2 of them anyways, in Rock and Jacobs. Leader is still cruising along up there.
Leader is leading us.
Well, we know where his namesake comes from then.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, so Jacobs getting out ahead of Rock still, but he does go wide there on exit. You know, Rock does not. Rock will have to fight with, well, he might not have to fight because I think that's a blue flagger
Yeah, I mean,
that he's trying to pass there.
Rock is 3.5 behind Jacobs currently.
Yeah, so he did lose a lot of time there. I don't think that was for damage.
I think he went off a little bit here and there, so he...
Yeah,
I
so he
don't
was
know
stopped
if
for an
he-
extra 3 seconds. Rock was stopped for an extra 3 seconds compared to Jacobs. So that's where all that difference in time comes from.
And I don't know that his damage maybe wasn't really worth that 3-second repair if it was superficial. But
Yeah.
it's up to him. I know a lot of times we would turn our damage off at the beginning, or turn it off if it wasn't a lot.
Hastings has a really bad time there through the corkscrew. I hope he hasn't pit yet, but I think he has, unfortunately. But yeah, so this is that moment through the thing where you really don't want to be turning left. And that's exactly why, because you will spin around.
I'm not sure he meant to back into the tire barrier there, but you never know.
I would assume not, but I mean, I've seen weirder things. As he now comes into the pits.
It does.
So I believe everyone above P10 still needs to pit.
Yes.
I'll be interested to see where Jacobs and Rock come out in relation to leader. Right now, Jacobs has about a minute 4-second gap to leader. And if I look at the pit stop times, assuming that you don't have any damage to repair, it's about a minute 2, minute 4 stop time, not including the extra time that it takes to accelerate off of the pit lane. Because the pit lane here is very weird.
It is.
Yeah, we'll be able to see it here as we watch Acomb here, but
Okay. I have
well,
Sig on board.
we would have. Yeah, we can go and watch Sig as he exits the pits. If I can click on him. So yeah, most tracks would probably let you into the racing line at this point, but Laguna makes you wait all the way until the exit of turn 2. And the corner through there is really slow. It's a lot slower than you'd think, and you basically have to brake all the way through the corner for pit exit.
And it's sand on both sides. There's no runoff. There's no like, oh, you could dip your tire out a little bit. No, you have to stay right in those lines.
SIG SVG has a stop-go 30.
30. Now that's a true commentator's curse when we watch him exit the pit and he gets a stop-go 30.
Yeah, so that is an entry thing. So
it is.
Laguna has a really weird pit entry to where you have to brake before you actually get onto the turn exit or the pit entry. We'll see if SVG comes through to do it on this lap, and I'll show you in the onboard. But the braking marker is actually before you get into the quote-unquote pit lane. So yeah.
Good point. SIG might actually go in. I was thinking maybe the Thibodeau or Dwangbanglio up here might. But
yeah. But if you saw the orange thing on the orange placard there in the pip on the bottom right, you are braking to reach your speed limit before you actually get into pit lane, because as soon as you get into pit lane, it's a 120-degree turn to the left, and then immediately is the first pit box. And there have been issues in the past with IndyCar where drivers have tried to get into pit lane and actually spun because of how tight a corner it is. Also, I hadn't noticed this, but on Pellerin's car, I can't tell if they're bow ties or butterflies.
There you go.
I really like them on the front there.
Now you can get a real close look.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my stream is blurry, so I can't see it that well on your stream.
I think they're bows.
Well, either way,
right.
I really like the look of them.
Butterflies.
They're pink and they're cute, so I like them.
They are. Thibodeau and Acomb both opt to go in the pit.
Yeah. So right now, our net leader is still leader.
Leader is still our net leader.
And he has pit, so all the guys in front of him, Pellerin, Garcia, and Dwangbanglio, are going to cycle back probably to around P14, P16, somewhere around there.
Now, am I wrong? Didn't Garcia start with in the back?
I believe so.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, they've moved up 20 spots, so they would have started 22nd or 20. I believe 22nd or 21st.
All right.
So yeah, they're doing good up there.
Quietly just plowing through that field. There we go. Yeah, leader's doing a fantastic job out here.
Although I suppose we shouldn't be too surprised that he's doing good, because he is the silver championship leader at this point. As Garcia now comes into the pits.
Well,
and also,
he's
someone else has a penalty.
named. Someone else has a penalty. A Thibodeau with a stop-go 30.
Not another one.
Another one.
So yeah, to anyone racing tomorrow, aka me, and hopefully someone else in the chat here, brake early.
Always practice your pits. Practice your pit. You never know when somebody takes out any of those pit signs too. Every once in a while it happens.
Yes, it does. Especially here, it wouldn't shock me as people would try to widen that pit entry.
Yep. I figure we'll go on board with leader here since he's doing such a nice job.
Yeah, well, we'll give him some credit here. And he's not really that far behind Pellerin, which does show his pace, but it also might cause issues for him, because Jacobs is less than 2 seconds back. So if Pellerin, I don't want to say he gets in the way, because it would be a fight for position technically, But if
Yep.
leader gets held up by Pellerin, that could let Jacobs and potentially even Sebastian Rock back into this fight for P1.
As Pellerin bops into
And
the
never mind.
pits.
Ignore the last that rant.
That's all right. As a quick note, Sebastian Rock does currently hold the fastest lap of the race with a 123.9. Excuse
And he
me.
just upped it.
He just made it faster with a 123.575.
And give me a second to check, but I believe that's faster than his best time.
Well, the track is optimum now.
It's
and
close.
it's warmed up. It's 17 and 23. So a couple degrees warmer. Hope they
Yeah.
change their tire pressures. Though it's not a big difference.
Yeah. But yeah, so that lap of a 123.575 is 600ths off of his best time. So 0.05 or 0.06 off of his best lap ever. So he is definitely booking it.
Only one car. Oh, sorry, not one. 2 cars left to take a pit stop.
Yeah, so Draper in the back, who is now going into the pits. And then our overall leader currently of Duong Bonglio, who I bet wishes he had pit at this point, because we are getting very far into the race, and I don't think that pitting later will really give you an advantage, because he's not making a gap to anyone behind him.
No, and his last lap was 2 seconds slower than his best on this. So I'm wondering if his tires are suffering and he really should.
Yeah,
Keep
could
an eye
be.
on that. As Jacobs goes wide, letting Sebastian Rock through. Right behind
And then you all
him.
just...
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, May and Cook are also fighting. May goes wide as soon as we start talking about them, of course.
Exact same spot.
Yep. So that will let Hemian into this fight for P7.
And so, a note for anybody racing tomorrow: we've seen a lot of people run wide on that. Is it turn 3? I believe that was
think
turn
that's
3.
turn. We'll see when it happens again next time.
When it comes to get it, as Hemian gets handily past May going up that hill.
I wonder if May is having confidence issues now.
That happens.
I would hope not, but you know, sometimes you just have issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, it can be if the car, he doesn't necessarily have to have an incident. If the car starts giving him a little wiggle in a certain spot, or he knows he's not hitting it right, but he's not sure what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. And yeah, you start to lose. You don't want to have an incident. You don't want to ruin anybody else's race, so you might start getting more cautious, which then, you know, it's a snowball downhill.
Yep. Yeah, meanwhile, a little bit further back, SVG is currently fighting with Dan Thibodeau for P14. He had been really close going up to the corkscrew, but hasn't done anything. And then a little bit ahead of them, I believe, is Pellerin and Acomb. Is that who you're watching? Yes.
Yeah.
So 2 close battles here at the back. Everything out of the front except for Hemian now chasing down Cook, who I will... Do you want to pull that up on the main screen, or do you want me to?
Sure.
Yeah, Hemian is fighting with Cook now. And they're really close. And with Hemian being... Oh, no!
Well,
What?
Cook just... Well, he cooked
Cooked it.
it.
Not what you want to do there.
No. I noticed that we're missing Alexis out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it happened. The Parker people noticed it, and we didn't somehow, but he Retired due to damage, I believe.
Oh, right. I see that.
Yep. Yeah, they were booing him, so. Very reasonably, but, you know. Sometimes when you're having a bad race, you just want to get out of Dodge sometimes.
Hang up your hat, but
I will respect it. It's unfortunate, but it's understandable.
it happens. SVG
Meanwhile,
did get past Thibodeau.
yeah, I'll go ahead and show that in the replay. Amazing dive there into the hairpin. That's an insane dive, actually. I know the Lexus doesn't have the best brakes, but the McLaren doesn't have much better brakes. So, amazing
Pretty-
dive there.
As an optimistic dive.
It was, but it worked, so we won't complain too much.
Okay. So not everybody's pretty spread out except for Acomb and Pellerin.
Meanwhile, out front, Sebastian Rock has set another fastest lap, and he is officially doing better than his best practice time of a 1:23.3. So,
Trying to take
yeah.
it, but still has a half second to find out there.
Yep.
Although, let's go take a look. Sebastian Rock's now made it to less than a second from leader if he can keep up that pace.
I will go ahead and pull that up here in the paper just to keep an eye on it. Yeah, May is also trying to rein in Hemian, but not having an easy time of it, so not sure how soon there will be a battle there, but it could be soon.
Yeah, Hemian and May looks like last lap and their best pretty close, so they're very, very close in pace. We'll see what happens
Also,
with that.
Sebastian Rock looking to the
What?
inside.
What?
Leader gave him the room,
What?
and we have a leader's cook. Has a slight incident through
See
the.
how that happens.
Yeah, we'll
Oh, yeah, he
watch it
just-
in the main screen.
Super wide to let Sebastian through.
Yep. And while we're showing that
Probably-
replay, we showed Cook's unfortunate
cooked.
spin through the. Yep. Nothing too big, thankfully. No wall hits or anything, but it is now Rock's race to lose, I think. He's been doing good all day so far. Hopefully he has it in him for another 15 minutes.
What a way to put it.
Yeah, if Rock has an issue, I will
You're gonna
I
take
don't
full
yeah, I'll take
responsibility for that.
yeah, I was gonna say I had quit commentating for the rest of the season, but I don't want to put I don't want to put us in any more of a bind with this scheduling.
You don't.
We don't
do
need to
that.
cause Jess any more stress.
No, I kind of like commentating with you as Pellerin gets slides in there by Acomb. Can he hold on to it? I think
It looks like he's holding on.
Duong Bonglio finally popping into the pits. Leader is 3/10 off Sebastian. 2/10. We're going to take a look up there in a moment.
Yeah, he's stayed with him, but I don't know if he'll be able to have the pace to get past him.
Yep. As he's losing time now.
And then he's back to gaining time, so I don't know. It might just be that Leader is faster through a part of the track that you aren't really able to pass through.
That could be. We'll take a look at them in a little bit. I just want to keep an eye on this as we... Pellerin, Acomb, and Garcia here are still battling for this position. Duong Bonglio goes... Okay. Went yellow
think he's
for a
fine.
minute. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he just had an issue at pit exit. Meanwhile, Leader is right behind Sebastian Rock still. Doesn't try anything through the corkscrew, though. But them fighting has let Jacobs back into this fight.
Pellerin
Well-
right up behind Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, as he slides through turn 1. Can he get that exit and hold on? Again, same spot where he got past Acomb. And the same move, so that's working for him.
I missed it in the pip, unfortunately. But I believe Cook got past Hastings. Hastings is now right back behind him, fighting alongside Duong Bonglio. Well, not alongside, but also with Duong Bonglio. So we had a little bit of a lull for a moment, but we are now back into the thick of things.
So it's Garcia and Pelerin here. Is the big battle on this.
Yeah, it looks like Aiko may have gone a little bit wide there into the corkscrew.
I think so. He's dropped back a bit. Hasn't been able to really hold on. But we're not going to rule him out just yet.
Now, we still got 11, 12 minutes left to race, so anything can happen still. Except for a rainstorm, I think.
I don't know. Maybe we'll contact somebody who can fix that for us.
I hope nobody has betting favorites on anyone in the lead right now.
No.
Meanwhile, here in the pit,
Hastings.
yeah, Hastings makes a dive to the inside, goes really deep. He locked up his brakes, and so he will lose the position to Duong Bonglio.
That's a tough place to get by. Not impossible, but very hard.
Yeah, we've seen it happen before, but unfortunately not there.
Hop up here to May, looking to... For a minute there, looked like he was trying to make a move on Hemian, but thought better of it as Duong Bonglio is side by side with Cook. And they're going to bring Hastings in real fast if they don't sort themselves out.
Yeah, meanwhile, Garcia and Pellerin switch spots.
Oh, looks like maybe Pellerin had a wiggle or something. He lost a lot of time.
Yeah, he went way wide there on the corner after the corkscrew. And that let Garcia and Acomb through, so it is now a battle for P12 between Acomb, Pellerin, and SVG. Meanwhile, Hastings got past Duong Bonglio.
He did.
Unfortunately, I talked through that about another battle.
That's all right. Duong Bonglio is not giving up just yet. And it looks like leader is about a second off of Sebastian Rock up front. So should they stay consistent, Sebastian looks like he'll be fine. He's got a 124.265 now. So, wait. 123.347. My apologies. I see the purple and I'm like, oh, look, it's purple. No, wrong one.
Either way, it's still really fast.
It is. So,
Meanwhile, May? I think that's May trying to get past. Or is that Duong Bonglio? I can't tell.
The yellow one is Duong Bonglio. Oh, wait, no. The yellow one is Hastings. Duong Bonglio is the Lexus.
Okay. Yeah, so Duong Bonglio gets past. Meanwhile, in the pip, Pellerin went wide there at the last corner, allowing SVG through. Cox is still in the pits, so I really don't know what's happening with him.
I think that he's just
here for a fun time.
Yeah, maybe he's got a teammate out there. He's just going to watch out and help him out there.
Yeah, it could be. I know that sometimes, in endurance events, teammates and I will use each other for information around the track that our spotter software won't tell us. So it could be that.
Yes, I think he
Meanwhile-
only really got a couple laps in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could have been that he just pit for damage and then decided he doesn't want to come back out. But who knows?
These two really battling it out, reeling Hastings back in.
Yeah, it's been good. Meanwhile, SVG got past Acomb, and I think it might have been an issue because Pellerin is also right next to Acomb there.
Duong Bonglio is in the front of this little triple. What do you want to call it? Trio.
Trio. Yeah, trio. There you go. Pellerin tried to make an inside move there into turn 2 in the pip, but went way deep, unfortunately. So I'll just go back to watching the guys out front for a moment. Yeah, Hastings tried to maybe look on the outside there through the corkscrew, but didn't do anything, thankfully.
Yeah, not. Is it him who tried that once? I thought it was a yellow car earlier.
I know that he, or SVG, had done it. It wouldn't surprise me if Hastings has done it. But we've seen it multiple times, I believe.
Pit exit is enforced. Oh, another OSU person over there. I shouldn't say another, but lots of people from Ohio.
Yeah. My dad's got lots of jokes about Ohio, but I won't put him through it.
It's fine. There are a lot of jokes about Ohio
Mm-hmm.
that just exist. But the odd thing is, like, it seems like every time I turn around, it's Ohio is mentioned. It's somebody's from it. You meet somebody from there. It's kind of quietly always there in the background, just
Yep.
being Ohio. So.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the background, we're both showing it. Oops. Oh well.
Thibodeau having some trouble.
Yep. He was kind of stuck right behind the 3 leaders of Rock, Leader, and Jacobs. Since he was getting blue flagged, he wasn't able to get past them, and so unfortunately he had a mistake there.
Yeah, looks like Pellet. You've got 4-way battle now for P11 brewing.
Oh, it's already happening.
Yeah, it is. Looking at those numbers, trying to keep an eye on the leaders as they kind of clump up here.
Yeah, they're heaving and hawing at each other, but they keep staying in the same spot.
Let's see, quick. What is our... Wanted to look at our team standings for our drivers. But yeah, Rock and Leader. I don't even see Rock on. Oh, he's all of it. So they're not considering the team standings, as none of these 3 are... Well, I don't know about Jacobs. Oh, Juicy Jake had an incident here. Look at that. Oh. A little bit of a Beyblade kind of thing going on for him. I was thinking Rock and Leader aren't... Okay, maybe Leader's like, forget it. I don't want to risk the... an incident for a couple extra points. I don't need it. But none of them are really at risk for, I think, catching up to the leaderboards at this point. So,
Yeah. Leader is the one who's closest, and he's 120 points off. So he could have a really good, end of the year, but
yeah.
Not 100% in contention.
No, but if he did take the win, that would really thrust him up there.
That it would. Sebastian Rock, if I remember correctly, was brought He was having a lot of issues in D4 at the beginning of the season, and so the reason why he's down in the standings is because he was only here for part of the race, for part of it.
Is that
And then Glenn Jacobs, who had been fighting for the win.
he's in silver?
Yeah. So, he will get a lot of good points from this today.
Yes. Yes, he will. He'll be happy. So,
Yeah.
Hemian is our current gold leader, who's in P5, so he's not doing bad. He's not gonna get. He'll get a nice bucket of points for that. Sig, who's our current P2, he's down in P12. Current P2 for the leaderboards. He's currently sitting in P12, fighting off Acomb and Pellerin, hoping he can catch Garcia in the same time. And then Cameron is not here today, so that'll be his drop race.
Yep.
Nolan Witt's our P4. Haha.
Pellerin tried to make an outside move there, but went way later in the brakes and just kind of oversteered through the corner, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame. Now, Nolan Witt is currently in P4. Not sure. I mean, that might be a nice... It's definitely a nice finish for him as far as points. Oh, and look at this. We're at the end of the race already.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Look at that.
We
Our
have-
leader dives down in on Rock, who was getting past a blue flag. That slowed him down.
So we have a last lap battle here.
We just might.
All right. Well, while he's doing that, I'm going to quickly go over our biggest movers. Garcia, we talked about him, how he was leading this race before the pit stops. He is up 11 spots from P22 to P11. JP May is up 6 spots from P12 to P6. And then Nolan Witt is up 5 spots from P9 to P4 as Acomb has spun. Or did he get spun?
I'm not sure if you want to pop that back in. He
Oh.
looks like he might have tapped.
Yeah, so he was going side by side, didn't have the room, and just tried to hold it on the brakes, wasn't able to. Leader goes wide! Oh, at the very
Whoa.
last moment! At the last lap, Leader has gone wide to give Jacobs P2.
Lorenzo is yellow now.
Oh, really unfortunate for
Darn.
Leader, but Rock is your winner. So an amazing job to Sebastian Rock. Jacobs P2 with an amazing finish for a silver driver. P3 is Leader. Nolan Witt coming across the line for P4. Hemian coming across the line for P5. Something's happening here, I'm not sure what, but the finishing order is getting very weird. But anywho, we are watching the final battle on track, I believe.
Yep. As they
Yeah.
drag race down to the finish.
Yeah, so I believe the only guys we have are Juicy Jake will come across P10 eventually. Race control went a little loopy there for a moment. So it's still going loopy. But
Oh, yeah,
Juicy
it is.
Jake did an amazing job there for P10. Garcia will come across in P11. Sig SVG will come across for P12 here in a moment. And then I will have to wait until I see the finishing board and to give you a
Looks like Dan
final.
Thibodeau is looking to come over for P14. Acomb came over S15. Lorenzo 16. A Thibodeau P17. Ian Gilchrist 18. 19 is Draper 20. Hopkins 21. Roger Dismutes 22. Josh Parker, and P23 would be Michael Cox as our finish.
Yeah. So, fun race. Really fun race, to be honest, with a very down to the wire finish.
It was. it was a little sketchy there. And yeah, P2 and 3 swapped in the last
At the
lap.
very end.
Yeah. Yes.
So, now the question is, what order do we want to go? Do we want to go from P1 to 3 or P3 to 1?
I usually go from 3 to 1.
All right, we will see if leader wants to do an interview.
Well, oh well. Is he around? Can we find him?
He's there, so if you want to pull him up here.
I do. I want to take him. And I want to move him up here. Hello, Neil, leader. And wow, welcome to the booth.
Hello there.
Congratulations on a podium finish. Maybe
Thanks,
not
yeah, that was nearly P2 with 2 corners to go. I blew it.
What happened?
There was a back marker going all over the place in the corkscrew, and that slowed both of us down at the front, and then I allowed Jacobs to close up on us, and I just kind of, I guess, lost concentration or something. I'm just coming through the rainy curve. But, oh, well, yeah, like you said, podium's good.
Hey, it was a great race. I gotta say, you did a great job out there.
Yes, Sebastian was always faster than me. I did a fast time of like a 1:23.8 with him behind me and going, yeah, this is great. And then he went half a second faster than me. I'm not going to keep him behind me.
You weren't hoping that wasn't just a lucky lap on his part?
No, I think he qualified with a 23 as well, and I was nowhere near that before. So yeah, he was the pole sitter by quite a way. So yeah, I knew he was fast.
Well, it was a fantastic race. Is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, my teammate Jake. We're kind of been working up the list, up the places in the teams. We were way down to start with. I think we were P3 after the last race. So we're both putting in the points and trying to get up there. So hope that continues.
Awesome. Trey, do you have any more to add?
So yeah, I have a question. So we're 6 races in. Next race is Kailami, which I know I haven't raced at. I don't know if you've raced at it, but how are you feeling about Kailami?
I suck at Kyalami. I've raced there a lot, and I just seem to be 1.5 seconds off the pace of the people I should be competing with. So I'm kind of glad I got a podium this week, because next week might not be so good.
I'll be rooting for you.
I mean, you start at the bottom, you can only go up, so I think you're just setting us up for a surprise win.
All right, let's hope so. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your commentary all the time. Really enjoy it.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Well, thank you, and good luck next week. I'm hoping that Kailami can redeem itself for you. It is one of my favorite tracks.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And I will move him back.
All right.
Now, we need to grab... Glenn is chomping at the bit to join us, so let's get him up here.
Hello, Glenn, and welcome to the booth.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
We're doing great. You also did really great today. You got a P2 finish there at the very end. Talk us through your race. How did it go?
Qualified third, and I was, pretty happy with that. And then on the first lap, first place, I don't know if he got a bad launch or what, but I was able to get inside of him going into turn 1 and took the lead and worked out to about a second lead. And I was like, man, this might be easy. And then all of a sudden he started chopping that gap down pretty substantially.
Wow.
Yeah, his fastest lap was a half second faster than anyone else in the race. So it's safe to say he was pretty fast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But so obviously that last lap, right out of the corkscrew, leader goes wide and you get P2. What went through your head when you saw him go wide, other than, oh my gosh, P2?
Don't follow him. Hit my mark. Follow my line. Don't worry about him. Just follow my line. Make sure I get slowed down enough to make the turn. And then I saw that Rock was right behind a lapped car, and I was like, man, maybe. And then when I turned out of the last corner, I was like, no, I'm not. No, not gonna be able to get him.
All right. Yeah. Otherwise, amazing race. I will go ahead and ask, unless Steph, you have any other questions, I'll ask about the shoutouts.
No. Outside. Oh, we have to ask him about next week too. How do you feel about Kailami?
I actually just did 2 30-minute sprint races with another league at Kailami. Finished 5th in both, so I am familiar with the track. It's not my best track, but I do know it at least.
So how do you feel about it? 'Cause that's going to determine whether I let you come back up here or not.
I should do well, I think.
Okay, just kidding.
I was in the Mustang before. I'll be in the Beamer next week.
Nice. Oh, I always say Kailami is like one of my favorite tracks. I was just messing with you. Go ahead, Trey. You can finish this out.
Yeah, so final question. Do you have anyone that you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Mike Cook, my teammates, always support me. The Mid-Pack Mafia boys, Eric and Simon, Sean, and Drew, the Noobs All Us guys, and our wonderful sponsors, Race Data AI and Sim Racing Arnaud. Oh, I'm sorry, one more. Luke Addison. I did a lesson with Luke Addison, and he pointed out something I was doing that was really holding me back, and that has helped a lot with my pace and consistency.
Awesome.
And we always love to see that. The last thing that I will say is I like your new liveries. I don't know exactly what you changed, but the liveries look amazing.
The first half of the season, we used NASCAR throwbacks. And the second half, I'm using a Williams livery, sort of. And Mike just threw me a picture and said, hey, do this with the cyan and the pink. I was like, okay. And then after I did, I was like, maybe I'll make those reflective and see how it looks. So the first sunny race, we're really going to shine out there on the track because we'll be nice and reflective.
Awesome.
All right. We'll be looking for the mirrors.
Hopefully it's sunny at Kailami then.
I hope so.
Well, congratulations again, and thank you for joining us up here. Have a great night.
All right, thank you. Thank you guys for the broadcast. I always enjoy watching them back the next day. So thank you guys.
Thank you for giving us a show.
And last but not least, time to grab the man himself. Wait, where am I?
There he is.
Sebastian Brock, congratulations on a P1 finish and an awesome race.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks. That one was tough. Had a little mess up in the beginning, dropped to third. And then second half, after the pit, managed to take the 2 positions back.
Yeah, you did an amazing job. You went really fast. Your fastest lap in the race was, I think, a half second better than anyone else's. And they were all talking about how fast you were. So go ahead and, I know you said you talked a little bit about it, but can you talk us through your race and how it went?
Well, starting with turn 1 on the start, I went too far to the outside, wasn't covering the middle, so Jacobs managed to take first on turn 1. And then, don't remember when leader, I think I messed up, went off track and slowed down, and then leader managed to pass me. Then, was just trying to keep up with them, looking for an opening. When it came to the pit, I followed Jacobs in. I was hoping I could have got a better... I was hoping I was able to get out of the pits before him, but he got out just slightly before me. And then was just chasing them down for most of the rest of the race. And then saw an opening with Jacobs. I don't remember when, but got an opening past him. And then believe, leader pit, and we got caught up with him. And then from there, turn 11, last turn, he went wide, and I was right there. I took the inside and was driving for my life the rest of the race. And then trying not to get held up by blue flag drivers. But
Yeah,
No.
we saw you having
managed to keep
issues.
together.
Yep, we saw you having issues with blue flag drivers at the very end, and that caused a little bit of commotion behind you. Yeah. Steph, you were
No.
about to say something?
Yeah, I think I recall us noting, was it Sebastian who had a slightly longer pit stop?
There was, it was like maybe a 3-second difference, like a
Yeah.
minute 3 compared to a minute or minute 1 or something. So it wasn't that long, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess we were just debating whether you had some damage that you repaired or not.
No, I think I missed the box just slightly. I got moved back a little bit.
Oh,
That would do it.
yeah.
that-
that would-
Yeah.
All right. So
How do you
I
feel
will
about
let you. Yeah. Go ahead and ask it.
How do you feel about Kyalami? I need to know.
I haven't driven it yet, so it's gonna be interesting.
You're just like me.
I might have driven it once or twice, but I'm gonna have to learn that track. Same thing with Dongington Park last week. Never driven that track either. I was doing really good with my practice pace, but then came to the race. I was driving I wasn't pushing as hard, and I started 10th place in that race, but managed to gain 2 positions by the end.
Oh, well, have fun learning it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Now, I really like that track personally, but there are a few spots on it that have a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
It will be
Well,
interesting.
Laguna
then.
Seca is one of my favorite tracks, so it was a blast for it to come back into the rotation.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. And anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Before that, I was kind of hoping for rain in this race because the Honda is actually pretty good in the rain.
Yep.
But no, I'd like to thank my wife for supporting me during this while I've been with SRA. Also, shout out to SRA staff for being able to put on this league. Yeah, thank you guys.
You're
Yeah, thank
very
you
welcome.
for putting on a show.
And great race. Congratulations again. I will let you get back down to your division mates. And thanks for joining us up here.
Yeah, you guys have a good night.
You too.
All right. Now, I think that about wraps it up for us tonight. We'll look at the calendar. And as we've hinted, we've been saying Kailami this whole time. Trey, it's Laguna Seca next week.
No, Laguna Seca was today.
Oh, jeez. It is Kailami.
We know what we're doing here.
Yep. If there's anything I'm good at, it's forgetting what I'm doing.
Well, they changed the scenes. At one point, they had 2 separate scenes to show you which one you'd just done. But now they
Yeah.
don't.
I will blame that. Oh, I'm happy
Yeah.
because I love Kailami. I might have mentioned it once or twice, but
Yeah, maybe a couple
yeah,
times.
I love lapping it. I love racing on it. I love that track. It is so much fun. Anyhow, I look forward to it. And then after that is Monza as the final track of the season.
Temple of Speed and Turn 1 crashes.
Yeah.
Hopefully not here though.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel.
Eh,
I think Monza's
there's a-
more fun to watch than it is to drive.
Yeah, it's probably fair. At least we won't run into the DRS trains that F1 does.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I'll go over the spiel of if you guys want more racing, Trey will be driving tomorrow behind the wheel in Division 4.
Yes.
Division 4 tomorrow night. Same place. You can watch him. Although maybe you don't. Do you want them watching you?
I mean, I won't say no.
Okay.
Not,
So
not
anyway.
much good will come of it, but they can watch the chaos as it unfolds.
Awesome. So you can join us here tomorrow. Trey will be driving in D4. There will also be D6 on YouTube, and D2 will be racing. If you want to go back, you can rewatch us again here, or you could also catch D1 and D3 who also raced this evening and see how those races looked. And then
Hopefully more wet than ours were.
I hope so. I hope somebody had a wet race. So yes,
I find it really funny if it was all dry, though.
That'd be so sad.
It'd be sad, but it'd be hilarious.
It'd be so sad. Oh, so sad. I've had actual like scheduled wet races that ended up just being dry for the whole thing. You've never seen someone throw such a tantrum. But anyhow, enough of that. I hope that you all join us again next week, same time, same place, and watch our favorite Division 5 folks drive around sunny Kyalami in South Africa. Until then,
it should be
have
a lot of
great
fun.
week. Yes.
Yep. See y'all later.